Have you ever felt completely stuck, waiting for a burst of motivation that just never comes? You tell yourself, I'll do it when I feel like it. But that feeling never arrives. What if I told you the entire concept of waiting for motivation is a trap? Today, we're going to break down why action, not feeling, is the key to getting unstuck. And I'll give you 5 practical, easy ways to start moving right now. This isn't about massive life overhauls. It's about tiny shifts that create huge momentum. Let's start with the first, and perhaps most important, way to break free. Move before you feel ready. We spend so much time asking ourselves, do I feel like doing this? It's a trick question. Most of the time, the answer is no. Your brain is wired to conserve energy, so we'll almost always vote for staying on the couch. Instead of asking how you feel, ask a much better question. What is the smallest possible move I can make right now? I don't mean the whole task. I don't mean the perfect, finished version. I mean the absolute tiniest step. If you need to work out, just put on your shoes. If you need to write, just open the file. If you've been in bed all morning, just sit up. Then stunge up. These aren't just physical actions. They are signals to your brain. Your brain responds to motion, not to your internal debate about motivation. Motion is the trigger. It's the spark. Forget waiting for the feeling. Create the feeling through action. The simple act of moving in any small way tells your nervous system that something is happening and it starts to wake up. The second way to get moving is to turn your thoughts into experiments. Our thoughts can feel incredibly real and powerful. When your mind tells you, I can't handle social situations, or I'll definitely fail if I try this, it feels like a fact. But here's the secret. Thoughts are not facts. They are just suggestions or hypotheses. So, what do we do with the hypothesis? We test it. Instead of getting lost in a spiral of negative thinking, treat your thought as something to investigate. Let's take the example. I can't handle social situations. Instead of accepting that as truth, design a small experiment. Maybe you go to a coffee shop for just 10 minutes. Your only goal is to order a drink and maybe make eye contact with one person. That's it. After, you observe what actually happened. Did the world end? Did you spontaneously combust? Probably not. The key here is to approach it with curiosity, not judgment. You're not trying to prove yourself wrong or right. You're just collecting data. Okay, I went out. I felt a little anxious, but I did it. Interesting. This process of taking small actions challenges those deeply ingrained negative beliefs much faster and more effectively than just trying to think your way out of them. Action provides real-world evidence that your brain can't ignore. Now, let's talk about the third way. When you're stuck in a rut and everything feels overwhelming, you need a simple framework to guide your next step. So, choose one single action that feeds one of these 3 essential human needs: enjoyment, progress, or connection. Let's break that down. Enjoyment is about doing something, anything, that brings you even a tiny bit of pleasure. It could be as simple as sitting in the sun with your favorite drink for 5 minutes or listening to one song you love. Progress is about feeling a sense of accomplishment, no matter how small. This could be cleaning just one small area of your desk or finally making that phone call you've been dreading. A win is a win. And finally, connection is about reaching out to another human being. This is crucial when we feel isolated. It could be sending one honest text message to a friend saying, "Hey, thinking of you," or having a brief chat with the cashier at the grocery store. You don't need to do all 3. Just pick one. One small action that gives you a taste of enjoyment, a feeling of progress, or a moment of connection is often enough to interrupt the negative cycle and shift your state of mind. It's a powerful way to inject something positive into your day. The fourth way is a game changer, especially for procrastinators. Make the task so small, it's hard to refuse. Your brain isn't actually scared of effort. It's terrified of being overwhelmed. When you look at a huge task like clean the entire house or get in shape, your brain goes into immediate shutdown mode. It's just too much to process. The secret is to shrink the task until it seems almost ridiculous. You're not going to clean the house. You're just going to make your bed. That's it. You're not going to exercise for an hour. You're going to stretch for 30 seconds. Don't fix your life. Just drink a glass of water. See how that feels. The resistance just melts away. The real battle is never the task itself. It's the starting. Once you start, momentum begins to build. Making your bed might lead you to pick up one piece of clothing off the floor. Stretching for 30 seconds might make you think, okay, maybe I can do a few squats. The initial tiny action is the domino that knocks over all the others. Momentum will handle the rest, but you have to give it that first gentle push. And the fifth and final way is to reward the action, not the outcome. This is how you build a lasting habit of taking action. We often think motivation comes first, then we act, then we get a result. But science shows us that's backward. Motivation is a result of action. It appears asterisk after asterisk. You've put in a little bit of effort. So when you take an action, even if it's imperfect, even if the outcome isn't what you wanted, you must acknowledge the effort itself. When you show up, you need to give yourself credit for it. After you do that tiny thing, take a moment to pause and say to yourself, I showed up. That counted. I kept my word to myself. You can even write it down in a journal or share your small win with someone you trust. Let that feeling of self-respect really register. This isn't about ego. It's about building self-trust. Every time you reward the action, you're teaching your brain that showing up is a good thing. That effort is valuable. Over time, your brain starts to seek out that feeling, making it easier and easier to take action the next time. This is how you build a strong, reliable relationship with yourself. So, why does this whole method of focusing on small actions actually work? It comes down to two simple reasons. First, action literally changes your brain chemistry. When you move your body, even in a small way, it has a direct effect on your nervous system. Chemicals like dopamine, which is often called the motivation molecule, aren't released to get you to act. They are released as a reward asterisk after asterisk you've made an effort. So waiting to feel good before you do something is like waiting for a prize before you even entered the race. It just doesn't work that way. Action comes first, and the good feelings follow. The second reason is that action creates new evidence. Your beliefs about yourself are built on past experiences. If you have a history of not following through, your brain learns the belief, I can't be trusted, or I always give up. But every single small action you take creates a new piece of evidence that contradicts that old story. Every time you move when it's hard, you're reteaching your brain a new lesson. I can move even when you won't feel like it. I can handle a little discomfort. I am someone who shows up. With enough repetition, this new evidence builds a powerful new belief. That belief, rooted in your own actions, is far more resilient than any temporary burst of inspiration. You're not just getting things done. You're fundamentally changing how you see yourself. So, how do you start with all this today? Right now, the most important thing is not to get overwhelmed trying to plan everything out. Don't try to apply all 5 ways at once. Just pick one small action. Make sure it's something that actually matters to you, even a little bit. Make sure it's something you can realistically do today. And ideally, it should feel just slightly uncomfortable, but still totally doable. Then, the most critical part, do it before your mind has a chance to talk you out of it. Don't debate it. Don't weigh the pros and cons. Just move. Because at the end of the day, you don't need more confidence to start. You don't need perfect clarity on your 10-year plan. And you absolutely do not need to wait for motivation. You just need movement. One tiny, imperfect step. Start small. Start now. I'd love to know what you're going to do. Let's make a commitment together. Comment below and tell me what's one small thing you'll do today, even if you don't feel like it. Reading your commitments is incredibly inspiring. And if you found these tools helpful, make sure to subscribe for more practical advice that actually works. Thanks for watching.